Oh, how's it going? You know, working away in the shop, making a mess of everything. Because I'm really good at making messes, if you couldn't tell. But the old girl's doing good. Still running like a champ. Transmission is much better. Rebuilt that, put sinkers in it, and all that fun stuff. This is a current project, you know. Fuel, making a mess. But I'm gonna go over some things on this thing. It's a Belarus 400A. I believe it's a later model because it has the later model injection pump. I'm trying to find the timing marks, but anyways, see the get some focus. See the notches? Let me find a finger. It's not the size of a sausage. All right. So you see these? There's 3 of them. There's one behind this deal right here, and then right here there's HB or 8, and then 2 vertical marks. So I got the 8 in the middle hole on this one, which, you know, is not really very scientific with what I'm trying to tell you, but basically got a pointer, and there's gonna be a spot that has multiple hash marks on it, and I can't seem to find it, of course, when I'm trying to show you. Is this it? Yeah, it's right here, I think. Yeah. Bear with me, this is gonna be tough to see. You see that right there? There's a large hash mark right in this area too. So I lined it up on TDC to this pointer on the large hash mark. And the way I did that was with the rocker shaft. So when you spin the engine over, the exhaust is going to open, and the exhaust is going to close. The intake's going to open, the intake's going to close. When the intake closes, there is another mark 90 degrees off from that you don't want to get confused with. The intake will close at this mark right here. See this mark right here? When the intake closes and you see that go past it, make another 90 degrees and get down to that timing mark down here in this area. I guess it would be 180, but either way, don't get confused on that. And what you should see is a T show up right in here. Mine is in this spot right here, but there's a T that'll show up on this tooth, and you want to get it in this area because then these hash marks will line up almost vertical. And that's basically how I got this thing timed, because you're supposed to do it on fuel flow, and you pull this number 1 injector line off and you'll see the fuel rise in here. Well, I can make quite a turn while the fuel is still rising, so I went off of the marks up front, and that seemed to help me out considerably. So right now we are messing up, trying to fix the shifter, put it lightly. The pin was wallered out, of course. 400 million miles or 400 million hours, who knows. But supposedly only has 400 something hours, but hard to believe with how much wears on it. But it could be. Could have just sat in a farmer's field for 90 million years. Let me show you the old pin. This guy, he was just doing this, walking around. So, how I ended up fixing that is I took a drill bit, drilled out that hole, cut the end of the drill bit off, smashed it in here. Well, I put it in there, but it felt like I was smashing it in there. I had to grind mine down a little bit because it was a little too long, but then I pined it all the way around. So now that pin's not going nowhere. And the shifter does what it's supposed to do. And it has very, very slight slop. But before, you couldn't even put it near a gear because it would spin on you. And it would immediately spin. So you had no way to get in the gears. Thankfully, it was in neutral, so I could do all the work on it while it was sitting out there. But yeah, and then I got to figure out the low-high range deal. Is this guy? I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but it is free in both the transmission and the shifter, so I think it was just because it wasn't running. And this is root beer, by the way, YouTube. It's not beer. I don't drink. But yeah, that's where I'm at on the old Belarus 400A. Hopefully I'll have that thing mobile so I can drive it around, but take it easy, fellas.